Hello. How are y'all? It's been a minute since I made a video. Since that time I became a wanted man. Actually I think I made a few videos since then, if I recall correctly. Just a few details and notes. We've had a few unsubstantiated reports come in. One was that there was a marriage certificate out there with my name on it, against my will. This has yet to be proven. It looks like I've been able to prove it's false more than I've been able to prove of its actual existence. Then there's also been accounts in my name overseas, which I'm looking at my credit report to try to figure out how I could come across that. I saw that they had one apparently at Navy Federal at one time, which I've never had an account. I've never opened an account at Navy Federal before. So I found that interesting, but it was closed and I didn't close it, so I don't know. As of right now, I'm still looking like the guilty party. I've done no wrong in my opinion. My intent was that we act and behave as adults, and that we, instead of ghosting and running away and being terrified of having adult conversations, we actually converse and tell each other, I don't want to be with you anymore. That was my plan. However, after doing that, my emails were simply turned over to the state attorney's office, as stated prior. So that resulted in supposedly more charges, though it's for assault, and I'm guessing, best guess is that it's assault against myself, because I also said that if this proceeds forward, then you're pretty much asking me to commit suicide, because I won't go into Duval County lockup for any reason. I'm not a criminal. I don't belong there. To quote Hunter Thompson, multiple felon perhaps, but certainly not dangerous. So it was brought to my attention that Melissa Nelson and company look at me the same way the rest of the world looks at Ali Abulaban? Whatever. The TikTok guy that shot his ex-girlfriend and her friend. And I was watching like 20 minutes of this guy on the witness stand, like testifying. And I was like, this is what they this is what they think of me? They think I'm like this guy? That can't be possible. There's no way. But then I was told that's exactly what they think of you. They think you're exactly like that. They think that they are preventing the death of the petitioner by locking me up. Like that somehow I feel like I've been insulted or wronged or something to the point that I would ever harm anybody is absolutely preposterous in every sense of the term. It's insane. The only reason why they would ever think such a thing is because of her, not because of anything to do with me. I said that before too, you know, it's not for anything that I've done that she lives in fear. It's what she has done and what she would do in response to somebody doing the things she's done to me. This is by far and away the most abusive person I've ever met in my entire life. The most abusive. Everything about her is just absolutely abusive. I mean, if you look at when the police reports were filed and what emails she received that day or saw on Instagram, it's blatantly obvious why she filed each and every single police report was because she saw another woman. She's allowed to go and screw any number of men, but for me to even see one other woman ever, she files police reports against me, citing 47-year-old or 47-day-old emails as to why she's scared. 47 days later. Once again, it's blatantly obvious if anyone will look what she did. They don't want to look. Their case falls apart if they look. Completely falls apart. See, the thing is that Melissa Nelson and company, Gigi, y'all have jobs because you're meant to protect people like me, the abused. She is the abuser. She's always been the abuser. I've never raised a hand to that woman. I've never stalked her anywhere in my entire life, not once, ever, for any reason. I have not. I've confronted her about her behavior by email, sure. You'll fail to do your jobs. You're still failing to do your job. It's true. I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to call you out. I really do hate to call you out. I don't want to be doing this. It's the last thing on earth I want to do. But you guys did not do your due diligence. You didn't look at the other side. You didn't think, what if it's possible that she has a mental health disorder? Because she most certainly does. She will not pass a mental health exam. She will have at least bipolar. It's got to be. I mean, I was absolutely convinced she was bipolar when I lived with her. But now, after all this, I'm thinking it's more like malignant narcissist, sociopath, maybe somewhat psychopathy, maybe somewhat. I've seen her have a conscience at night. But I've also heard that being a narcissist does not mean that you lack a consciousness. It means you can't show empathy. You have a hard time showing empathy. Very rarely have I ever seen her show anyone any empathy at all, ever, except herself. Which goes back to the how entitled is someone? How entitled could she possibly be? And I find it hilarious that that word is the most offensive word you could ever say in her presence. And yet she is the most entitled person on the planet. I've never known anyone other than maybe my brother, who is non-functional Asperger's, almost practically straight autism. He's the only other person I've ever met that's more entitled than her. But she takes the cake. As a woman that does not want to work for a living, she would rather do something a little bit more leisurely. So, once again, just a reminder, y'all find that hard drive. You'll know what you have. That hard drive is in the possession of Timothy Gasson in one way or another, whether he's loaned it to Trevor Tomko or someone else. He knows where it's at. And by the way, I want to speak about I want to speak about Tim Gasson for a second. Many of you have seen this person seemingly posting as Timothy Gasson on my Facebook page for Bender Jones. I'm just going to go ahead and put this out there right now. I don't believe that person to be Timothy Gasson. Not the same style. Timothy Gasson has a different way of writing. He the ellipses, dot dot dot, period period period. Timothy was like fanatic about using those, and not how they should be used either. He'd put like 10 of them when grammar only calls for 3. No, I don't believe this person. I believe this is a friend of Timothy's. That is, if it's not the petitioner, it's a friend of Timothy's that's upset, very upset, that I believe something has likely happened to Timothy. I don't believe him to be around anymore. I believe it's quite possible he has now faced his untimely demise. I believe that people will pop up pretending to be him. But I don't believe that he is with Miss Petitioner anymore. I think that it's probably been a couple of weeks since anybody's actually seen him. I don't know this for a fact. I am speculating, like, purely. I'm going on the basis of a tarot card reader that I'm friends with, that I began reading tarot cards myself, for myself, without seeking outside opinion. And, I mean, you can say what you will. I mean, do I believe everything I ever get in a spread? No. Is it accurate? Yeah, yeah, it is accurate. I don't believe everything, but I believe in the. I mean, if Carl Jung could spend 3 books writing about it, and the mathematical probability of tarot and the archetypes becoming a thing, like a mathematical problem that you can find within your own life, then I see no reason to doubt it. It's just a tool, like anything else. I mean, my intuition tells me more so than any tarot reading that Timothy's not doing good wherever he is. If he's still alive, he's not doing good at all. I believe that he left town around about the time of the raids. I believe he was tipped off, and I believe he fled. However, I don't think that he went north. I think he probably went south, and if he went south and they knew of the raids down there, some pretty bad characters were waiting on to show up. People that he had gotten in significant amount of trouble, rather than paying them, because he and my ex have been running low on money for a little while now since they blew what they stole from me. Yeah, he would have had to have made some big purchases when he was down there, and by most accounts, he ratted them out to the feds instead of paying his bill. So I think they were none too pleased to have him back in the city of Miami. Especially because, I mean, he had the money to pay. He just didn't feel like he didn't want to, and thought he could get away with it. But I digress. Hopefully he is okay wherever he is. Though I just highly doubt it. I don't think he's okay at all. And literally, that's just intuition telling me something real bad has happened. So, I'm dropping a book next Friday the 17th on self-publishing on Amazon. There'll be artwork, a ton of artwork, and so far I have 8 great chapters. I just went through them, and I'm pretty stoked about the outcome of them. It's some of my finest work, based on a true story, obviously. Dialogue I had to come up with on my own, and where I wasn't privy to the conversation, but other than that, I try to get the conversations that I have with people as dead on as I possibly could. And I allude to the fact that it's what's in there is ad-libbed or whatever. If I had to guess, it was pretty much the conversation that must have happened in order for the events to unfold as they did. And I believe this is going to end up being like 3 books in total, because there's a whole backstory that has to be told, and then we still have to get confirmation about Tim doing the Isabella Stewart Gardner museum job, which I posted even more pictures of him in the area on the Friday before St. Patrick's Day from the This Is a Robbery Netflix special. Yeah. And then we had surveillance on him. Then the sketch. I posted a picture of Tim, and then the sketch side by side on Facebook for comparison. I mean, it's just Tim's about 6 feet tall, swooping hair, red hair, red auburn to dark brown, or I'm sorry, a lighter brown. That was how he was described back in the day. Same as cop number 2 with the mustache. So, but remember, it was thought that they were both wearing fake mustaches. So, excuse me. Anyway, that is the general update from here. I imagine I will have probably 2 more updates, 2 more episodes. Not that anybody's really watching this, but I'll have 2 more. I have some interesting artwork that I would like to show you guys and preview for the book. And I have some more news coming up, I think, if I can fact check it prior to the end of today. So stay tuned. Thank you.